And some of the stuff I'm going to go over, you might have seen before, but I'm just talking about like my experience in terms of what I've learned to do with Stasis. Now, I'm going to start on Hunter first. I'll work my way probably to Titan last and Hunter first. Warlock middle. 2 dots. Okay. I'll just keep that there for whenever I want to set that on the wall.
Mayhem, how will you fare against utter chaos?
Also, Destiny loads so fast now. Oh my god, this game is just... Alright, so... let's talk about some of the stuff I've been doing to play with Beyond Light. So, let's start with the grenade. Now, this grenade, the Glacier Grenade, I know, like, I've been having some things where it's like, well, how do you use this grenade? How do you use it effectively? You can actually play around with it a lot of different ways. So, the first way I really like to start using my Glacier Grenade is normally for baits. I'll have someone bait around the corner. Maybe they're like right here. And I'm leading them on, Maybe I'm like backing up with a shotgun. And I'm leading them. And then maybe when they get to like right here, right, come over here. You can go on the sand and back this out of there. Or if you have a normal dodge, you can still make sure you're near the wall. Just dodge out normally. Pretty good way to use it. Another way you can use it is just for like strict cover. Say if I'm like trying to push away from here and I got in a bad situation, take heavy, pushing back, pushing back. You go like this. Well, if you throw it farther and try to get that grenade back. Well, I don't want to throw it exactly on my feet, but like right here. And you can give yourself quick cover to come around. It gives them like extra. It will give them extra time to shoot. Give yourself more time to just get around. It's like a defense option as well. You can use it. I don't really use it this way, but I mean, like, if you're creative, let me try to throw it out of there. You can use it for like horizontal advantage, and like maybe the shotgun out here and finish them off or something. But like, I don't really use my grenades that way. For me personally, I mean, you can get really creative if you want. Maybe if you got heavy. If you got heavy. Go ahead and like get up here, maybe like camp, go over here or something. You can watch right over here. So you got like a couple seconds, or even like 15 seconds. You got it's pretty long. All right, so let's talk about Backrus. Backrus is really nice. You can do some pretty nutty things with Backrus, for example. You can basically bend around any sort of corner with a quick movement on the mouse. I play like 400 DPI, so when I turn, I have to turn like not pretty hard, but like hard enough where I'm turning. See what I'm saying? And that's all well and done. So that's pretty nice. What you can then do with that dodge, say if you have an opponent right here. Say if I got. Say if yeah, why not? Say if I'm coming here, I'm coming from right here. Got someone else coming right over there. What I can do is that while they're pushing in between the space right here, I can come behind. And what's the good thing about the fragment from the hunter is that when you dodge, you slow down nearby targets, and freezing basically looks like a 1-2 stack. So you want to try to slow first, and then if you can get an additional slow effect, you can then freeze. So when you dodge, that's already part 1, you're slowing them, and then you can dodge, turn around, freeze them immediately, finish up. Another thing you could do is that, I gotta wait for backers to reload, but another thing you could do is you could dodge, you could freeze them, and turn around and just slam them like that. You would be saving a shuriken, but also you'd be exposing yourself. So you gotta be careful using this move, because you do have a second where you just can't move afterwards. Like, I can't, like, you see how there's still a delay, and I'm spamming my dodge button as fast as I can. So you gotta be kind of careful about how you're using that when you are playing. Now, let's get on to the super. I think the super is really nice. This super is probably one of the most broken pieces of gameplay I've ever used in this game. More so because you can do a number of things with this super. And I especially want to put out for the second one how good it could be in certain situations, especially for like comp, with like 3v3 and trials. Let's just go over this real quick. If you use the first part of the super, it instantly freezes. So let's just talk about that. Insta-freeze can be used for a lot of things. If you want to shut down a super that's coming at you, you go ahead and use the insta-freeze to at least freeze them for a second. And then if you want to actually use your double up, you could use your double up to just kill the super outright. I would probably use that case the double up to just kill the super and not just freeze them and hold them, because supers could break out of your freeze. But if you have like a regular enemy and such, and you just see that you have multiple targets, one in front of you and one in the back, I freeze the one in front of you first. Then I throw the other pickaxe at the far targets, and then kill the one that's frozen in front of you. That's kind of how I use that one. I use the first really as my invading, and then I use the second one as my defensive option. So this goes on to the second one now. This thing right here is your best friend. It is unbelievably cracked. I think it's one of like the most useful things you can use. You can use it to basically block off zones. You can use it to shut off like any sort of lane or anything like that when you have a super. So forget this first part. We're focusing on the second part. The second part just destroys any sort of directional way you could go. And it literally tracks for almost, let's just do a test run and let's just see how long it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So about 15 seconds, right? So you now have about 15 seconds to literally trap off any position you want. So say you're in Elim, right? And you're capping the point at last stand, and you have this super, and you have 2 people pushing you. So let's go to Elim cap here. So you got 2 people pushing you, 2 from here, 1 from here. So the first gear can over here, boom, boom. You've effectively just frozen this guy here, finish him off. You can now block off this lane. These guys can now not go through here. They've got to either go around all the way over here or run back down and all the way over here. You've effectively probably capped this point. Like, how broken is that? With one super, you can now take care of one enemy, block off a lane for another, and you've effectively created invincibility for yourself. So yeah, Hunter, once again, if you say, now you're wondering why Hunter did not get any more than 2 fragments, this is probably why. The skill ceiling on Hunter is actually really high. Just because of this, if that wasn't busted enough, the fact that I can activate the ability as I'm going down, well, gotta make sure you're going. But yeah, that's just to show you some things you can do with the stuff. Like I said, really busted. Let's go on to Warlock. Yo, my connection? Hello? Okay. Alright, so let's go on to Warlock. Test. Hello. So let's go to this one. Stasis. Some things you can do. Stasis Warlock. Now, it's not that I'm not a Warlock main. That's kind of Warlock. The only thing I'd probably use Warlock for is top 2 Dawnblade. That's because top 3 Dawnblade is the lead hunter with an air damage. Anyway, let's go ahead and start working on what I'm doing. Stasis. Warlock. Okay. Warlock. Stasis Warlock is basically like a moving turret. That's how I like to think. Right? You're very in your center position. I mean, you can go ahead and branch out from there, but most of your abilities are stationary abilities. Right? You throw them out, and then from there you clean up. So basically, you have on the Warlock, you're not using Glacier Grenade. You're using Cold Snap Grenade. Just because of the way it synergizes with the actual build, you're not using anything else. I'll get into fragments at one point and how I would use them, but I would like to see more fragments first, and there's generally, most of them are, you can just customize to your play. So you should be able to take a look at these and just go over them, but I can go ahead and try to make a video on that and go over where I think those would be better. But for right now, just play around with them to your own playstyle. But anyway, Cold Snap Grenades are what we're using here. Why? More so because it generates, it synergizes with everything we're doing here. Now, don't care about the gun, but we have 2 ways to freeze on Warlock. Warlock doesn't, it's not that they don't have the slow factor, but they're treated as the instant freeze factor. So they bypass slow, they go straight to freeze. So this freezes instant. This freezes instant. Now when you get a kill on this subclass, I can wait for the grenade to charge in. When you get a grenade, when you get a kill on the subclass, the same type of grenade that the Cold Snap Grenade does is included on the fragment, which is Ice Flare Bolts. Does the same. It's basically a Cold Snap Grenade, but every time you get a kill, frozen kill, it works as a Cold Snap Grenade, and it gives you grenade ability back actually, so it's pretty nice. And then your wrist freezes. And this can actually be used as a bait now. This is why I call Warlocks a turret, like a walking turret on Stasis, because all their abilities are based on stationary movement and not just stationary gameplay, and not really like movement. I mean, like, you can always go ahead and push with Warlock if you know how to. If you come out here, you can go ahead and go like that and stuff. You know, do some crazy stuff there. But I mean, for the most part, like, what are you doing with the rift, right? What are you actually? If you're trying to freeze somebody, you're doing it behind a corner, and coming towards you, you're freezing it. Right? So most of the abilities on Warlock is really situated for like standing still and being like a turn from where you're standing. So the super, I don't like the super at all. It's like, why do I say wait 5,000 years to use the super? I feel like the super is really good if you know how to use it. It has a high, it has a pretty low floor and a pretty, I wouldn't say there's a ceiling. I don't know how high it is, but the low floor and the ceiling's there, but you couldn't work to reach it, but I'm not playing around with that. I mean, Warlock is basically moving turret, go ahead and use your abilities to trap people, bait people, all that wonderful stuff. Let's go on to my favorite class in them all. Alright, let's talk about my baby, the Stasis Titan. Titans, you know, I complain about us. We got some of the best abilities this game has ever seen. We didn't get Twilight Garrison. We got something damn near close to Twilight Garrison, and it's an intrinsic ability. And it's literally a functionality of the suit.
Show me what you can do with no limit.
If you are fearing the melee right now on the subclass, let me tell you something. You have nothing to fear. This melee is unbelievable. First thing you can start with is that you can use this as a movement tool. So you got someone coming around the corner, they're coming to you. Well, you can go ahead and do this. There we go, come around, finish them off. Now, I have Lion Rampants on, and the reason I use Lion Rampants with the subclass is because when you're using the movement ability on a Titan, you want to be able to use it and then go wherever you want to go from there. So say if I'm doing another I'll show you some pretty other funny things you can do with Titan at the end, but basically Titans can do all sorts of things now. It's like activating half the time and then it's not activating when I need it. So another thing, Glacier Grenade is what you're using on this class. The Slow Grenade, it's not that we're not going to talk about it, but I have really no use for it. So I'm really going over the things that I'm doing in this game. Not really everything. But anyway. This grenade goes down and slides into it. Once around and just cover. Titans definitely have a lot more usage out of this because you can play around with it more. Come out of cover and nobody saw you, right? You literally blocked off your whole lane here. I mean, people could see when you're coming. They don't know when you're coming. So you can wait here for a while. Like just behind your wall. And then boom, have your shotgun ready. Now I'm using a lightweight shotgun actually. Like, I'll use spell launchers and stuff. A lightweight shotgun on these classes is really nice because now that there's no like dire promise for like admirability. I mean, 7 Seraph shotgun. The cross snapshot, accurized rounds, full shot. Yes sir. It's very feels like Mindbenders, but it's a lightweight. So that's really nice. Feels really nice to go on and stuff. So I would recommend one of those rolls. You can get it right now. It's a random drop coming from most of the Vanguard and Gunsmith packages and such like that. But anyway, let's get back to Stasis stuff. So yeah. Also with the melee ability, you can come up from above. I don't really recommend it, but if you want to, you can come like that. And then after that as well, you can come down, you can really twirl around with it too. And you can start, and it'll auto-lock on to people. So that's the really good thing. If you know somebody's like around the corner, and you want to start here, Lion Rampants, I can come out here like this, and then just proceed to just yeet them into the wall. Just because I have the amount of time when I jump to go around and peek that way. Now, in Destiny right now, you can't really get a lot of people like that in the air because a lot of people have ranged weapons. A lot of ranged weapons that are just going to poke you out the sky. That's in any FPS, but you know what I mean. But they'll mow you down coming out the air, so you gotta be real careful. So I'd play like low to the ground like this, Timescape. I have it on 16 frames cap, so it's like recording properly, so I can't really Timescape on this, but like, I'm coming around, Timescape on it. That's not amazing. Now the super! Oh my god, this thing is crazy. So, you can literally come out of anything with this. So, best way I recommend how to use this super if you want to go ahead and push somebody, if you want to get a free kill, use the melee and my melee weapon. That is a wonderful thing we love to see. I don't know. Okay, my melee is just the first thing. I don't know what to tell you. This game has effectively tapped my melee, and I no longer have it. Okay. Try that again. But, anyway, I don't know what that was. That's really how I like to use this. Because it's so fun. You can do this in like short hallways and stuff, and it has such a long duration. You can carry this thing around with you. You can wipe the team a couple times with this thing. Like, you can just fly. You literally fly. If you know how to direct this, you will fly. Like, what's all that? Like, at the end of the super, I just mapped around 30 seconds. So you know how to use this thing? It's like the craziest thing ever. You just push it. Actually, that was good. I'm gonna pull it off. Like, this super really good. Let me go ahead and pull this up. Okay.
Wow.
Yes. So that clip was in. It's not a nom.
Didn't break.
No, not there. No, it was on anomaly. Not there.
Alright.
Not there.
Hurry me with two bust out your
Not
mouth.
there.
Skirt, baby, now. The boss is boy, you a hoe.
No, it's not it. Oh man, bro. One time I gotta find something, I can't find it. Ah, here it is. Alright, so just to show you how crazy Stasis Titan can be. So, as I said, Stasis Titan has a pretty high skill ceiling. There's a lot to learn on this class, especially in terms of how to use the melee efficiently. Just being able to push and ape with that in general, because I mean, the melee is cool and all to be used as like hitting people, but like using the melee to move around people is different. Boom, and just you're already around, right? So, I'm not really like bro, like you're coming around full circle. Like, say you're with somebody in the middle of a gunfight, and all of a sudden you just like they're not seeing you coming around there. Or if you really want. So I mean, there's so much you can do. And then, num num, eat them up. So there's so much you can do here with these new subclasses. Okay. Alright. I think that's about it. I think that's all I have to share for today. These subclasses are cracked. You can use them more. You gotta use your imagination. A lot lot of what Stasis is just how you envision it. A lot of what Stasis is just how you envision it. So you just need to go ahead and create what you want to create. But I'll choose my best pick. Stasis Titan. They just got a really good end this time. There's so much movement you can now do on Titan. And honestly, even if they don't bring back Garrison, I think the melee on the Titan is good enough to be warranted. So I think that's pretty nice. And you can get it back to the guy for the best grenade on Stasis. So Titan's gonna get the good half the time. I don't know. Thank you guys so much for watching. Already know the correct stuff to bed. It's a wonderful thing that that's all gonna happen. You know, whatever that. Okay, you know what I mean. It's a lot. I appreciate it. Have a good day. See you next time. Peace.